So welcome to the next episode of the Social Media Success Series. Today I'm joined by Gina from House of Gigi, who's got a little bit of like fame sort of thing going on with Instagram at the moment. She does really well on there and she is one of my really lovely clients. So just to get the ball rolling, I'm just going to let Gina introduce herself properly because she'll do a much better job than I will. So she can speak a little bit about her business and her future plans.
Hi, so I'm Gina and I'm a dog groomer or pet stylist, as I like to call it. And I've had my little business now for about 5 years, and it's literally grown from the ground up. And it's like I work full time now, and I love it. So yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so you obviously refer to yourself as pet stylist, which is fantastic. And I know within the community and people who download the podcast, there are quite a few of those sort of areas, as in of the sector. But the bit that I really wanted you to come on to speak about was your online presence when it comes to social media. So the series is following people, not celebrities, shall we say, but they're more people that I think do a really good job on social media and who deserve the recognition of the job they're doing as well. So let's just talk a little bit about you then. So what platforms do you use for social media at the moment?
It is mainly Facebook and Instagram, but it's more Instagram than Facebook I use.
So would I be right in thinking you find Instagram the more useful platform for you?
Yeah, definitely. I love Instagram. It's what I put more work into my Instagram than I do my Facebook.
And if you have seen Gina's stuff, she's on Instagram as the House of Gigi. There's lots of really good reels, and your content is well. Lots of people come to me from you and say basically like, I want to be like Gina, which is fantastic. But yeah, so how did you really start your social media journey?
I think it was when I wanted to start growing my client base, and I felt like Instagram was where I wanted to put my focus into. So yes, and that's what I know. That's what I did. So I started posting regularly, like every day, and trying to build that online community up a bit more, and trying to get my face and my business out there through posts. And I try to make them like really informative, sometimes funny. Sometimes I just share the images of the before and after grooms. So it's been a journey.
Yeah, well, that's brilliant. So you're quite well established, and the following you've got is great. So if we just talk a little bit about Facebook, so when people start their journeys, the chances are they've started them on Facebook. So how
Mhm.
did you really get your name out there on that platform? Was it using like Facebook groups, or was it more word of mouth?
I think it was just word of mouth. I joined a lot of local Facebook groups, local Facebook community groups of like local villages, local towns, and was just sharing my business on there. And also, same again, I would share from Instagram to Facebook my posts so that it automatically go on there. And yeah, word of mouth as well. A lot of it was word of mouth too.
Yeah, so that's more of your obviously building up your client base for the people who come to you. But for those who don't know, Gina runs House of Gigi's Pack on Facebook, which is I'll let you speak a little bit more about it, but a community for newbie groomers and women who just want a little bit of a positive vibe. That's right, isn't it? So how did
Yeah.
you really get the ball rolling with that? What was the idea behind it?
To be honest, it started just at the start of COVID, when when the rules were like we had to self isolate and we had to stop working. So all groomers had to shut their salons down, and I decided to create a support group for dog groomers. I was aware there was a lot of support groups out there, but um, a lot of the time I found that people were quite scared to voice their opinions or ask questions on the bigger groups. because you could see there was a lot of like negative backlash on there. So I thought I wanted to create a safe space where people could just ask questions, because I wouldn't have any negative and any negativity in my group, because I would literally kick someone out for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I created that at the start of COVID, and I just started sharing like free masterclasses, and loads of tips and things like that of how I groom and how I get around grooms and how I do things. It might not be for everyone, but just wanted to help people and just see, yeah, and just give something back really, and just kind of create a nice little friendly community for women like me, to show like it's dog grooming is a journey, but like if we're all in it together sort of thing, and like just to help each other out really.
Yeah, and that's brilliant. I think that's probably the idea behind the pet business owner community as well. It's a free space for people to use just to connect with each other and learn a little bit. Because I think there are a lot of communities that are similar to mine as well. But I think when people have a space to come together, there's no negativity. We're all learning together as well. Because as much as I'm a social media manager, I don't know everything about there is to know about social media. And same in all industries or within these niches. You're a dog groomer, but every day is a learning day for you. As a pet stylist, I know you've done like loads of like master classes yourself, haven't you? Gone to learn in different places as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's really important, isn't it? Is having that sort of always growing and always progressing knowledge. And I know you did,
Absolutely.
yeah, the grooming hurdles masterclass recently, and that took off very well, didn't it? So, what was the idea behind that group, that masterclass you did in that group?
So the grooming hurdles is basically, I wanted to do a masterclass just to talk about their grooming hurdles, because I know when you first start out as a dog groomer, you get your qualification and you're just kind of like put out into the world with a bit of paper, and you're not really that experienced in it. And especially if you're doing it solo and start your own grooming business as well, it's very, very scary, daunting, and overwhelming. So with the grooming hurdles masterclass, I wanted to talk about all their hurdles basically that they come across, like whether it's how to do cockapoo legs, or whether it's how to talk to a client, or whether it's how to deal with a difficult dog, or all sorts of hurdles that we come across in the business that we're in.
Yeah, and there are loads, isn't it? Because not only are you dealing with dogs, you're dealing with people. And what I say to everybody who runs their own business, you are everything, aren't you? You are doing your social media, you are doing the actual work, you are doing so many different parts of your businesses that just speaking about those hurdles as well could inspire so many people. And I'm sure you probably had some great feedback from that too.
Yes, I did. A lot of people found it very helpful, and yeah, and it's still up there now, so people can still join the group and watch the masterclass and get a lot from it.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I will definitely put all that information in the description anyway, so they can join. But yeah, let's get into the more nitty gritty and what people like to hear and have little insights into. So, when it comes to Instagram and Facebook, how are you creating your content?
So I do it. Do you mean by reels
Yes,
or?
so reels and just general content. I know I do a lot of the green tile stuff for you and use, what I use for it. But when it comes to the reels, where are you getting the ideas from? What are you using to get those ideas in motion, basically?
So sometimes the ideas are just from scrolling on Instagram, and I'll pick and I'll hear an audio and I'll really like it and I'll save it. Or there's a website that I use, and it has like the more updated audios that are like popular at the moment. Um, or I yeah, just from scrolling on Instagram, I tend to have a look. Or I'll literally be grooming and an idea will just pop in my head, and I'll literally make a note of it. So I have a stack load of notes of like upcoming real ideas, and then I'll just pick one and add an audio to it, and yeah, make the reel.
Yeah, so you think it's important then to keep some ideas to the side, just like if you're really stuck for that content, what can I do? Oh, I've got a list of ideas.
Absolutely, yeah. Whenever I could be out shopping, or I could be on the school run or wherever, and it will literally ideas will just come to me, and I have to just remember them or make a note of them straight away on my phone. Um, So yeah, it's not just through scrolling on Instagram. Like they just kind of pop in my head at like as and when, and then yeah, and then I'll choose a day that I want to post it.
Yeah, and then putting them together, then I get asked a lot by groomers, and as much as I can say about Instagram and reels and things like that, I'm not a groomer. So you all guys obviously putting a lot of effort behind the scenes without putting the reels together. But at what point do you think are really good sort of content ideas for groomers? So like you got the before and afters, you've got
Mm-hmm.
like teddy bear feet and that sort of thing. Do these
Mm-hmm.
ideas come into your head whilst you're doing them, or is it a case of you think, right, the breed I've got in front of me, this is a really good real idea for that?
Yeah, so yeah, what tends to happen is the breeding I've got in front of me, knowing before a few years ago that this would have been a hurdle of mine, then I'd be like, right, I'm gonna break it down, do like a either before and after or a how to or a step by step. And yeah, and I'll record it and make the content and then put it out, because it's mainly what I want to do is just kind of show new dog groomers like how I do it and the easy approach to do it. And so that's why I tend to do little step by step, like 15-second reels sort of thing.
Yeah, that's great. And then in regards to reels that you do probably a bit more for fun, because I know that your clients can also see the content you put out there. Do you ever get any feedback from the clients, or do they ask for their dogs to be used or anything like that?
Yeah, they tend to ask for a copy of the video. So I send it to them as well. So yeah, they love it. They're always like, well, have you taken a picture of our dog? Is our dog going to feature in your reel today? Like they love it. So yeah, they're all on
Yeah,
board.
and that's brilliant. I think getting those on board, and the people love it too when they think, oh, I mean something to that person or that brand. So yeah, when you've got that dog in front of you and they're asking, that's brilliant. So moving on from that, then you've got your ideas together, you get that dog in front of you, you get that reel together, you get your sound, obviously your audio, and you press post. What sort of results are you expecting in regards to where it's going to reach? Are you aiming for the dog groomers, or are you aiming for clients to reach? Where do you think or hope those reels will land?
It just depends on the post. I think sometimes I have an aim in mind. So I either aim it at dog groomers or I aim it at clients, potential um, dog clients,
Yeah.
owners, obviously. uh, yeah. So I know I have in my head where I want it to go. I don't just make a post and just kind of put it out there and just hope like anyone's going to see it. I have an aim in mind who I want to see it.
Yeah, and that's great. So now I'm going to talk to you a little bit, coming off that, of strategy. So loads of people are people who've got like months worth of content planned in their heads or planned on paper. Some people are more like 10 minutes before native posters. Where do you think you sit in it? Does somebody definitely have to have a strategy, or can they just native post?
I would love to say that I'm a very strategic person and I have it all planned out, like, a lot of people I'm sure do, but I'm the most disorganized person you could ever meet. Hence why I've got you. Thank you so much. Sorting my social media life out for me. But yeah, I'm literally the 10-minute before post kind of girl. That's why I get all my ideas on the go. And then, like, yeah, at the time I'll just be like, right, I'm gonna post. I would love to be more strategic though. It's something I'm definitely aiming towards.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because when I come to my own social media, I'm literally like the night before thinking, what can I post out? It's not that I've got, people think, well, you're a social media manager, you've got this plan for 3 months in advance. I really don't. It is much more to me to find out what's going on currently and kind of jump on it. And this is where I find a little bit of an issue with strategies when it comes to reels, because the biggest thing about them is they're trending, isn't it? So you can't really
Mm-hmm.
factor in, you can say, I'm going to do a reel that week, but you can't really factor in what it's going to be until like the 2 or 3 days before you press post.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things I think.
So it,
Yeah,
yeah, no, I agree with you. It's because the trends change all the time and it's so fast paced, and it's like it's sometimes really difficult and overwhelming to keep up with. So for me, sometimes I follow the trends and sometimes I just put out what I feel I need to put out that at that time.
Yeah, which is probably a bit more helpful to people, and attracts people more to you, because you're always current, you're always the sort of trending, and your ideas are always there, and they're relatable to other people. So I think as important as strategy is, and I speak to you about this, and we speak about, the results for the month and things like that, the way I think we work together best is knowing that we are always current. So House of Gigi is always getting that current content out there, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll move on then a little bit further. I want
Mhm.
you to drop your 3 social media tips for everybody to learn. So, what would House of Gigi give us their top 3 social media tips?
That's putting me on the spot. Ah, 3 tips.
Yeah,
Um, so okay, so the first tip is like what I do. If you have an idea that comes to your head, just write it down. Even if you got your only your phone with you, just make a note of it in your notes on your iPhone or whatever. And so you have like a collection. So it's always something to fall back on if you don't, because sometimes ideas can just come to you. So just make a note of them so you have them all there. That's my first tip.
well,
Um, my second tip is try not to get too stressed out and overwhelmed, because I really used to, and I always used to be like, oh, I have to post like on this day at this time and da da da. And sometimes, yeah, that like it does work, but like other times, I feel like you can just post and like not just try not. What I'm trying to say is, even after you post it, don't stress about it. Like it's just a post
absolutely.
at the end of the day. And the third tip is try not to overthink it too much. Like be be just very genuine and something that comes from you. Try not to be like anyone else. Um, just do it your way, because people are following you for you.
Yeah.
So just whatever you feel like posting is going to resonate with someone at the end of the day. So yeah, so try not to overthink it too much and think, oh, this person's putting this out, maybe I should do this. No, just think like, if it feels good to you to post, then post it.
And that's such an important tip. I don't think people realize, the thing is we can all copy each other, but then we would all be the same. And I think when people come to me and say, how can I be like a certain person, or how can I grow my social media following? It's not about that other person's journey, it's about the journey you're on. So if you've
Mhm.
got, for example, 2,000 followers and that suits you well, that's brilliant. But for somebody at the start and they go, well, I want to be like that person, they've not seen the efforts you've gone through, the trials and tribulations of getting to that point. And I think being yourself is what people follow you for. And I'm really, with my own social media, I'm really strict with that. It's always from me. It's always how I feel. If it kind of offends anybody, then it's something that they obviously don't resonate with me, and they're not going to work with me, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
But I think definitely being yourself on social media is so important, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Otherwise, it just wouldn't sit right with me.
No.
Um, yeah. So yeah, it's so much better. It feels better as well. You feel good about yourself. It's genuine, and it's like coming from the heart what you put out, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, so if somebody's really struggling on their social media journey, because many people do, what would you say to them? Is it a matter of just keep going and trying, or what one piece of advice would you give them?
I say try lots of different things, like because you will find one thing that works for you, whether it's the hashtags you use, or the time that you post, or the day that you post, or maybe it's the content, the type of content that you're posting. I feel if you I tried so many different things, and you will find something that works for you, and you'll kind of find your flow. And yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think for you, it's really how well honed in on the fact that reels work for you. They work for your target
Mhm.
audience. You know, people really look, well, really, really look forward to seeing your content get out there. But for somebody else whose target audience is like 40, 50 plus, a reel might not be the best piece of content for them. It might be that they're better off doing a static post, or, you know, finding that those people elsewhere other than Instagram. It's finding what
Mhm.
suits you best, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, it is
Ah,
definitely.
amazing. So, what would you say to somebody who's thinking of outsourcing their social media? So, has it helped you
Say that again, sorry.
outsourcing social media? So, giving your social media out to somebody like you've done with me, is that
Oh,
you or
yeah.
something you recommend?
I definitely I definitely recommend it, yes, because especially for someone like me, like I would love to sit there and do it all myself and be like a one woman show, but that's just not realistic for me. I've got two young children, I have to do the school run, I have to run a household, I have to run my business. I haven't got time to sit there, unfortunately, and do all the social media stuff as much as I'd love to, because I generally do enjoy it. I just can't. And it's also taken away my time from being at home and doing the things that I love at home. So I feel by outsourcing it, personally for me, it just frees up so much time. It takes the stress away. It just helps my business ticking over. So yeah, I think if you've got the means to do it, then definitely outsource, because it's done wonders for my business. It's done wonders for my mental health, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's great, I think.
Oh, and that's great to hear. And touching on that, we have a quite a unique, I would say, sort of relationship to what I have with some other clients, because you do your reels yourself. You know, you post them and you sort of do them, and then everything in between is also me trying to put like the puzzle together for you, isn't it? So I keep
Yeah.
the account going, the engagement's there for you. You get the creativity you want with the reels, and we just
Mhm.
kind of factor in when's best for everything, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I'd say I'll probably do the fun part by making all the reels, and then you do all the rest, thank God.
But yeah, that's brilliant. So, and then touching on that as well, I know I do a lot of the engagement side of things, but I know you're really good at replying to comments and having those conversations with people. How important is engaging with other people on social media, not just posting?
Oh my God, I it's so important. I've actually realized that's probably the majority of how my Instagram has grown, definitely. It's by giving back and showing people you're interested in what they do, and like, giving them a bit of love, and having a bit of like conversation. It goes such a long way. It's not just about posting and then that's it, like it. Yeah, and it's about engaging with other people on their content and letting them know that they're doing a really good job. Like it goes so far.
Yeah, and people look at you for that, like not look at you directly, but they look at for support, don't they? And I think people
Mhm.
are in a way very thing of, well, I've liked their thing, they've not liked my thing, so why should I follow them? And as much as you might not want to attract them, they're not part of your tribe, but being somebody who's really positive on social media and you're giving the love, you're saying, you know, well done to other people on their grooms. And I think whether you're a dog trainer, a walker, a doggy daycare, wherever, just saying to somebody, you can make their entire day by saying, well done, that's an awesome, you know, groom you've done there, or well done, that client looks amazing.
Yeah, I know, especially for people that run their businesses as like a self-employed person like I do. You haven't really got like a boss or a manager to tell you they're doing a good job. Like, you're just relying on yourself. So to have people message you and you say it to them, like, and, say you are doing a really good job and your grooms are really nice and things like that, like it means a lot to people.
Yeah, and that's brilliant. So that's all I really wanted to speak to you social media wise. But you've got something very exciting, haven't you, with the new Finesse Academy. So this is your opportunity now just to talk to us about that. And I know there's a lot of groomers in the group that know of you, who might not necessarily know of it, and groomers that might not know of you, but definitely something I think they should get involved in. So go ahead and just talk to us about that.
So Finesse Academy is like this little baby that I've been working on again since the start of lockdown. Um, I have always wanted to teach grooming, and I don't have the means to do it right now, but I would love to open my own dog grooming school. So for now, I had to do it online. And what it is a monthly membership for dog groomers who have just qualified. And like I said before, the struggle is real. Like, it's very overwhelming. Not only are you all new to all the different breeds and like how to groom them, you're like running a business as well, so it's all very daunting. So the whole point of Finesse Academy is to not only finesse your grooming skills by breaking down the grooms and getting them from like, I feel, from like looking like a dog groomer to like a pet stylist. That's the
Yeah.
kind of aim that I was going for. So like really finesse their skills and just show off like their really like their work. And also, it's not just about finessing their skills, it's about their mindset. I'm going to be having like coaches come in and talk about how important mental health is, and like giving them like running workshops on how to like keep yourself ticking over healthily, like whilst you're running a business. And I've got so many like experts in their field, including yourself, coming in to talk about things like running their accounts, running social media. I've got a lady coming in talking about how to make your own website, how to take nice photos of like your dogs to like put on your social media. Like, I have so many things coming up, so it's great for people that are just starting out on their dog grooming journey and just want their hand being held, and like have this little community of people who are on the same journey as you, and yeah, and just like helping you through the first stages of your business, really.
Oh, well, that sounds really lovely. And I think that builds like that community you're on about. It's like a little package, isn't it? How to basically get your business up and running. And is it following basically all the stuff you'd have wanted to know when you first started?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if I had something like this in my back pocket, I think I would have been a lot further in my journey than what I am now, because the struggle was real. When you first start out, you're like pulled from pillar to post. You're like going on YouTube, going on this, going to like seminars, watching online seminars. I was driving up and down the country to go to like dog seminars and things like that. And it's like, it's just going everywhere to get information. And I felt like I've learned so much. And I just want to put it all in one place, just like people to just go on, log in, pick what masterclass they need to know for that week, whether it's a breed that they've got coming in, or whether they're feeling overwhelmed about their business and they can do like a mindset masterclass, or all sorts of things.
Yeah, and that's that. Like I said, that's perfect. And I think what the reason I set up the pet business owner community is because at the start of the journey that I went on, even though I'm not necessarily a pet business, it was really overwhelming and daunting to just get your business up and running. There doesn't seem to be many things within the industry that help you all around business, not just this is how you groom a cockapoo. Do you know what I mean? It's just a
Yeah.
nice little community to learn and stuff like that. And I'm assuming there's going to be, opportunities for people to like catch up with each other, like networking via like Zoom even.
Yeah, well, they can do it in the group, but I'll be doing as the monthly masterclasses are released, I will be doing a monthly Q&A to go with it. So it is an opportunity for us to all talk and get them to like ask questions about that masterclass or about anything to do with what they're stuck on at that time. So yeah, it's a good opportunity for them to, it's because also being a dog groomer, it can be quite lonely, so it's a good opportunity for us to all like talk and like communicate and connect, and know like we're all in it together. Like, dog grooming can be really tough at times, so it's just good to know we've got each other to lean on and we've all been there and we're going through it together.
Definitely. Well, that's great. Like I said, I'll put all the information about Gina in the comments under the video on the Pet Business Owner community. And then when the podcast comes out as well, there'll be some stuff in the show notes so you can get to know Gina a little bit better. Give her a follow, join House of Gigi's pack, or join the Furness Academy even on your next opening.
Brilliant.
Awesome, brilliant. Well, I will end this here then. Bear with me 2 seconds and just thank Gina so much for coming on.
Thank you.